If you've been feeling low, exhausted, or just not like yourself lately, there's a quiet question looping in your mind. Is this depression or is there something wrong with me? And that question alone can be terrifying because once that thought shows up, everything suddenly feels heavy. You start doubting yourself, judging yourself, wondering what's wrong. Let's slow that down right now. I'm Michelle, and I work with midlife women who are smart, capable, responsible, and absolute pros at pushing through. Women who look fine on the outside, but feel a little off on the end. I hear the same question over and over. Should I be worried? Why don't I feel like myself anymore? Is this just how it is from now on? And this space is where we talk about what's really happening beneath those questions without panic, shame, without slapping labels on something that need understanding first. And if you're navigating this season too, you're in the right place. You may want to subscribe. These are the conversations that we have here. In this video today, I want to help you understand the difference between depression and what many women experience in midlife as burnout or a deep disconnect from themselves. And this is not about diagnosing yourself, it's about understanding yourself. And those are very different things. And just a disclaimer here for if you suffer from depression, I am not a doctor. Please seek medical advice or counselor therapist if needed. Today we're talking about burnout. And we know the feelings that we get in midlife, right? Depression, it feels very heavy, and burnout feels depleting in a different way. Depression is often described as deep, persistent heaviness. It tends to touch everything all at once: your mood, your energy, your sense of hope, and ability to feel meaning or pleasure in anything. Burnout, or this midlife disconnect, it shows up a little differently. Many women, they can still function. They get up and do what needs to be done. They show up for others, but inside there's very little desire or aliveness attached to it. Women describe it as moving through the day on autopilot, doing what's required without feeling emotionally present, having no capacity to function, and no inner pull towards life. You feel drained all the time, and rest alone doesn't take care of it. And what I tell them is, you're not lacking energy, you're lacking self connection. Another difference is that depression isn't situational, but burnout usually is. Depression, it doesn't always come with a clear reason why. It can exist regardless of the circumstances. Midlife burnout, on the other hand, often follows decades of sustained responsibility, decades of caregiving, emotional labor, holding your families together, work or careers, being the dependable one for everyone. And it often shows up when your kids need you less, your roles change and shift, your relationships change. Life gets quieter in ways that you never expected. Nothing in particular is wrong, but everything is different. So much has shifted, and you haven't really had a chance to check in with yourself along the way. The next point, and this one is so important, another difference is that the response matters more than the label. Many women get stuck asking, what do I have? What is wrong with me? When the more helpful question is, what do I need right now? Depression often requires medical or therapeutic support. Burnout and midlife disconnection requires rest that actually restores, emotional inclusion instead of self-silence, identity rebuilding, support that doesn't ask you to push harder. And gaining clarity in this can help you choose the right kind of care by understanding better what you need to get through the burnout. Not just more effort, not more self-blame, but one of those simple steps back to you. So if you've been wondering whether what you're experiencing is depression or something else, here's the simple truth I want you to hear. You are so smart for asking. Nothing is wrong with you for feeling this way. And so many women in midlife are responding to decades of carrying responsibilities and entering a season that no longer matches who they're becoming. Understanding the difference allows you to meet yourself and give yourself compassion, and that changes everything. If you want help understanding where you are right now, whether you're depleted, disconnected, overwhelmed, or just in a transition, I created a short quiz to help you with that. And it's designed to give you clarity about what kind of support would actually feel helpful for you now. No labels, no pressure, just insight. You'll find the link below whenever you're ready. And whatever you're experiencing, you're allowed to take it seriously and gently. And you don't need a diagnosis to deserve support. You don't need a label to listen to yourself. And understanding is enough to begin. You're allowed to start there. I'll see you next week.